When you think you've got the Big Ten figured out, when you think you've got the Big Ten West figured out, Wisconsin comes in and makes you rethink all the decisions and everything you've said the past couple of weeks. Great time to subscribe to the channel. Big Ten content every single day. Always crush that like button. This is the Wisconsin that Badger fans want to see. This is the Wisconsin that we've grown accustomed to seeing over the past 20 years, the better part of 30 years. This is the Wisconsin football. And maybe this is the Wisconsin football that Jim Leonhard is bringing back to Madison, Wisconsin. Man, coming into this game, I really thought Purdue's passing attack was going to have a good day. I saw what Michigan State did last week against this Badger secondary, and I'm like, yeah, Purdue can have that kind of day going up against Wisconsin, but man, they forced Aidan O'Connell into turnovers early in this game. Wisconsin pounced immediately in this game, and it seemed like Purdue was down from the start. How this game started, what Wisconsin was able to do, it seemed like ever since that first pick six from John Torchio taking it back to the house, ever since then, Purdue was just taken out of this game. Now, Purdue, you look at the box score, you look at the statistics, and you think, yeah, they were able to come back, but that final score is not indicative of what happened in this game. Look, I honestly believe Graham Mertz, God, I can't believe I'm saying this, Graham Mertz was the better quarterback in this game than Aidan O'Connell. Look, I've said it for a couple of years now. Graham Mertz isn't a bad quarterback, okay? I don't believe that to be the case. I just think Graham is kind of one of those guys. I mentioned him in previous videos. Tanner Morgan, Peyton Thorne, Sean Clifford. They're better with a complementary running game, with a complementary defense. This is the game, and Bobby Ingram at Wisconsin, the offensive coordinator now for the Badgers, has been kind of throwing it a little bit more, maybe not so much I formation, two tight ends, ground and pound, like maybe you're used to at Wisconsin, and I think he's giving Graham Mertz more confidence as this season goes along. Skylar Bell is getting a lot better on the outside. Of course, Jamari DK is right there. I think they've got two good receivers now on the outside that Graham Mertz can throw to. Obviously, it's great when Braylon Allen is running the ball well. Isaac Guerendo now with Ches Malusi out. Isaac Guerendo is stepping in to be that number two back to Agent Zero's number one. You know, look, this offense is at its best when Braylon Allen is at his best. And this was kind of the game where he's had good games prior to this, but this is the game where, to me, he got explosive. This is the game where he really broke out, and it seemed like he was running with a lot more confidence. It seemed like this offense was operating with a lot more confidence against Purdue. Look, Purdue isn't going to be, look, they're solid on defense. This isn't a great defense. In terms of when Wisconsin had the ball, what they were able to do against Purdue's defense, I guess how Graham played is maybe a surprise because this Purdue defense has been known to take the ball away via the interception, and Graham Mertz has been known to turn the football over via the interception. Look, when Graham Mertz protects the ball, he's a good quarterback. When Wisconsin runs the ball, this is a good offense. This is going to be a big-time momentum boost for Wisconsin. Look, you look at the rest of the schedule for the Badgers, you look at Maryland, Iowa, Nebraska, Minnesota. If they play like they did today and they continue to build off this and get better, they can win every single one of those football games. It would have to be absolute chaos for them to get to the Big Ten championship game because they already have 3 conference losses. But still, that would be an 8-4 finish. 5-3 in the conference. Wisconsin, if they continue to play this way. Look, a big factor for the Badgers today was Alexander Smith, the corner. He was kind of one of their top corners coming into this season. He was out for a majority of the first half of the season, came back for the Michigan State game, and maybe this was his first game at really full strength, and he did a pretty good job. You know, I know Charlie Jones had over 100 yards. A lot of that was kind of later in this game. Wisconsin did a good job in coverage. They forced Aidan O'Connell to throw interceptions. Those couple of those interceptions early were forced balls. Maybe balls that Aidan O'Connell would not have thrown otherwise. Maybe if they wouldn't have got him in a situation where Purdue wouldn't have been behind early. Is this the game that gets Jim Leonhard the head coaching job. I don't think this alone is the game, but man, this is a big rocket ship to him being right at the top of the search in Madison. I think they want him. I think Chris McIntosh and this administration want him to be the head coach. Of course, he wants to be the head coach there. It's just you need to see a little bit more. They put a couple of more wins together. Maryland, I think the Iowa game, if they can get past Maryland, then they can get past Iowa. That could be right before those Nebraska and Minnesota games. They could name him the permanent head coach. But I already see this program going in a positive direction. Sometimes when you make a change, you need to take a step back and then 2 steps forward. Maybe that was the Michigan State game. And then, now they're taking their steps forward. But man, this is a Wisconsin team. There was a reason why I wasn't one of those people, but maybe there was a reason why people picked this team as a West Division contender. When Braylon Allen's running it well, when Graham Mertz protects it and throws it well. Now you got Skylar Bell out there with Chimere Dike. You got a couple of weapons out there, and this defense continues to gel and play better. Maybe they got something brewing in Madison, Wisconsin. What about Purdue? Where does this leave the Boilermakers? Look, this is an up and down team right now. I don't think the defense is great. I don't think the defense is good right now. Remember, they still got to play Illinois, but their schedule is somewhat favorable down the stretch, with Northwestern and Indiana later on in that schedule. I just don't think Purdue right now matches up with some of the tougher teams in the Big Ten West. Your Illinois, your Wisconsins, even though they went into Minnesota and won, man, I just don't know if on a consistent basis that they can put up a lot of yards, that they can play the defense that they played against Minnesota. I don't know. I think this is a solid team at the end of the year. I still think they can finish 8-4 or thereabouts at the end of the year. I just don't know if this is a team that can sustain their style of play at the top of the Big Ten West. Should be fun to find out. Want to hear your reactions to this matchup in the comments below. Did you see it coming? I didn't. I thought Purdue was going to win this one by a couple of scores, but this makes me think of Wisconsin just a little bit differently. Leave your thoughts, comments below. Make sure you subscribe to Big Ten Ted. I'm Big Ten Ted, and we'll see you in the next one.